And a good Sunday morning to all you guardians, ghosts, and gamers out there. This is Hako, your artist poet here on PlayStation 4. Yet another little thought pass on some theory work, some uh, thought experiments, as you would say, on getting good in Destiny. There is something that I posted a little bit earlier. I recorded it. I didn't talk through it. It's just raw footage off of the Nightfall for this week, which is not a difficult Nightfall, honestly. It's one of the easier Nightfalls in my, personal experience. Um, but I did it on heroic because one of the bounties is, defeating champions from the Vanguard. Because I'm doing a little bit of a Vanguard push right now because we've got the new system coming up, and I kind of want to go ahead and get a little bit of uh, of a jump for materials and things like that. Still on the hunt for a Seraph sidearm with some decent rolls on it, but gonna say that after the TWAB and the announcement that things are significantly changing when it comes to Warmind cells, I might be moving off with the Seraph weapons. They are still good, don't get me wrong. I still have lots of fun playing with them. I mean, I got another week or so to play. I got about another week to play with them. So we'll see how things change up in the next season as to whether or not I move back into some of my old tried and trues. I've been playing with the Seraph weapons since about the Warmind cell time came out, off and on. I would keep at least one in my inventory with the Global Reach mod on it. Um, it was good fun when we started doing Legendary Lost Sectors as a group. But I have since not been too invested in Legendary Lost Sectors. I find most of what's there as a reward to be kind of not all that appealing or enticing versus the level of intensity that you have to put in. I'm a casual player. Man, that is the most energetic block of heavy ammo I have yet to see. Anyway, so yeah, a quick thought on how to get good in Destiny. Don't rely on energy and heavy weapon ammo. This is the crux of my upload that I did before this video, and it is the truth. I mean, you really, they're supposed to be making some changes to ammo scavenger and finder and all the other ones for season 15. More importantly, they're supposed to be making ammo drops a bit more frequent if you're using kinetic primary energy weapons. So, like, say for instance, if I'm on my scout rifle, I should be generating a lot of ammo for energy and heavy. And if I have a mod on there, that should be significantly better. But from my understanding, nothing's stacking anymore. So it's like, normally I'll run 2 scavengers if I have the energy, or I'll run 2 finders if I have the energy. But that's not going to be, at least the way I understand the TWAB, that's not going to be a thing. And that's okay, it's totally fine because, like I said, after this morning's heroic Nightfall run with the randos, meet the randos, I am significantly moving away from reliance upon energy weapons. Outside of doing Banshee's bounties, which of course, they're my morning coffee and newspaper thing, which is something that dads do, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to share is try to get by with just kinetic, and don't be too dependent upon you know on the energy weapons, and realize that they are going to fail you, because in spite of what Bungie wants to say about their improvements for ammo gains, I don't no. I don't trust them. That's the other thing you want to do in order to get good, is be a fire team of one. You're going to have to be a fire team of one, because that was something else that I was reminded of when I was doing the. I think this is the one I have to get into. Yep. When I was doing the Nightfall this morning, is that I can't count on my fire team, especially if I'm in a rando team. And I mean, I could count on my clanmates, the guys that I play with, the guys and gals that I play with. when I play with them. Everybody pulls together, and it's we have our off days. I mean, some people have IRL that plays into their game space. Um, it's difficult to expect someone to separate the two because there's you have human interaction, and we have a tendency to invest. Oops. Uh-oh. Okay. Now we're gonna just fail that out. See, that's another thing I'm saying. Um, the other thing I want to also say, if you want to get good, is don't rely on targeting mods. Don't rely on counterbalance. Don't rely on hipfire mods. Get practiced with lining up your own reticules and timing your own attacks. Get practiced with hip firing and try not to depend upon mods to mitigate bad aim or anything else. I gotta go for a second. Okay, kids, I'm back. I think. I think I'm back. Okay. So, all right. I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit. I'm here on the Tangled Shore doing my daily. Like I said, this is my thing. Um, you know, yeah. Sorry, I'm just coming down off of a phone call. Uh, um, it's very important to remember that part of getting good at this game is realizing that you can't count on certain things. Figure out in the game, and I'm going to throw a little tinfoil hat in here in a second. But figure out what in the game is most consistent for you, and make that be the basis for your strategies. Make that be the basis for your tactics. Strategy is what you do before you get involved. Tactics is what you do while you're involved, because a very popular general once said that plans are nothing, but planning is everything. And what he was saying is that you make strategies and expectations, but you cannot hinge every decision upon those expectations. That you have to be prepared to make last minute adjustments. So plans basically are nothing, but planning is everything. So you want to make sure that you're always planning, you're always thinking ahead, and part of that with this game is realizing that certain things are going to fail you, certain things are going to disappoint you. And one of the things I find most disappointing in this game is that for being a first person shooter, looter, loot ain't all that great, and the shooting and the ammo is very, very far and few between. I mean, I don't have a linear rifle mod on my character right now. What I was focusing on was the rocket launcher. And if you go check out the earlier post I did this morning with my Nightfall run, you'll see what I mean. It's a 7-minute video. You don't need to watch the whole thing. You can basically just scan through the frames, and you'll see. Well, it's like the last final stage of the boss that I finally get some heavy ammo. A little bit sooner than that, I get some special ammo for my shotguns to try to mitigate the crowd. I think after the first near wipe and the second near wipe, the game finally realized, hey, Hako must be actually doing something here to try to keep this thing from, failing out completely. The least we could do is go ahead and give it some fucking ammo. So yeah, Destiny's not always going to be fun. Gaming is not always going to be fun. You're not always going to find that one key thing to get good in right away and very easily. But one of the things you can do, like I've mentioned throughout this entire week, is you have to focus on what it is you do very, very well, and how can you leverage that to do other things very, very well. And figure out what it is you find to be the most struggle, and distill it down, break it down. This is like, okay, well, I suck at PvP. Well, why do you suck at PvP? What about PvP makes you not perform as well as you would like to? Are you expecting certain things? Are you perpetuating bad habits? Are you, not understanding the mechanics, or how movement or how targeting works, or anything else like this? Are you showing a lack of confidence in your shots? Shot confidence is a really big thing. It's a really big thing for snipers. It's basically having an idea that you got this lined up and you're going to go ahead and take that shot, and in a higher stress scenario like trials, where you've investing time and you're trying to get an achievement, the main thing I gotta say is, don't forget it's a game. Unless you're working with a team to go pro and do the esport thing that Bungie keeps talking about wanting to do. Unless you're sponsored and you're paid. I mean, let's be honest. If you're sponsored and you're getting paid to play Destiny and paid to make content for Destiny, you're obviously doing well enough that you're better than me. Okay? That you're better than the majority of the players out there. Because, let's be fair, most people don't scout the potentials. Most potentials don't ever see the light of sponsorship. They will, they will stay in the minor leagues or the amateur leagues pretty much all their career. if you can call it a career at all. It's basically a hobby at that point, at that level, which is no shame. I mean, some people really have fun in those areas. I have fun in those areas. I don't seek sponsorships. I don't seek to make any money off of this. I do this for fun, and I want to remind people that it is a game that is supposed to be fun, and it is a fun game as long as you are aware of the fact that there are going to be certain elements in the game you might not be the best at, and and then honestly, if it's everything in the game, in spite of the fact that it's the game your friends all play, and what you really want to do is just want to play with your friends, then just let them know. It says, hey, you guys know I'm not that great in this game, but I want to play with you, and I think you're all really cool, and it'd be nice if we could just hang out and do something casual where we could just fart around and have fun. And honestly, they're your friends. They're going to say yes. They're going to say, yeah, man, no problems. We can help you out. We can show you some tips and tricks and recommend some loadouts that might be a little bit more, sympathetic to your play styles and your techniques and your thinking. Because a friend's supposed to be able to do that. Now, some friends just aren't. They're acquaintances really, where they're like, yeah, okay, dude, I can help you out, and then they throw some loadout at you, and it says, okay, build this, and then just practice it, and then you get really good at that, and then something else is going to come along that's going to basically change that. The meta will change on you for sure, and then what are you going to be, and yeah. So the real thing is that in order to get good, you need to focus on your own personal training plan. You need to focus on your own honest evaluation of yourself, and that doesn't mean you have to be deprecating or anything like that. You don't have to put yourself down. I'm not asking you to recognize you're a casual slob or whatever, or a failure, and I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying being honest with yourself, like. Okay, say that ball right there, that little light post. Okay, well, it was perfect. Here we go. Boom, shot confidence. Okay, missed that. Caught on the shoulder. How did I mitigate my shit aim? I play with weapons that reward critical shots, but I also play with things that have explosive shots, and that's kind of what I've realized is that in spite of my constant practice and constant training, I realized that my aim is not always going to be the best. And yeah, there are certain weapons out there are certain loadouts out there that can help you. You don't want to rely on mods. You're looking for good gun rolls, and then you want to make sure that you stay in those particular wheelhouses. But you also have to be prepared for the fact that the Bungie's going to switch it up, and they're going to change it on you, so you can't rely on it. The only thing you can rely on is your persistence, your patience, and your planning. So that's kind of what I want to say here, and the simple takeaway is get good with primary weapons. Don't rely on energy and heavy ammo. Don't be holding out for that special ammo drop or that heavy ammo drop to take care of the target. And don't forget, grenades are free, and punching is always there. Whether it's a charged melee or not. Fists don't reload. So that's kind of all I want to share. It was a slightly longer video because of things, and I'm grateful that things happen. But yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and try to get back into this vid and edit down my Lost Sector run, and but I don't know. I mean, you can just watch how I played the Lost Sector. That's kind of a good way to kind of parse out whether or not you're doing any kind of progress. You'll feel it when it happens. That's all I got for now. Thanks for stopping by.